Hey everyone, it's Phil here. I'm back again, and I've got a bunch of really amazing stuff to show you today. And I really want to start off showing you some different pieces of marbled shell Cordovan. This was a request in the last video that I released. Somebody wanted to see know a little bit more about some of the marbled shells. But first off here, let me show you the different colors of some of the marbled shells that I currently have. And stick around here for this because there's a couple shells in here that I don't think anybody's ever seen before, and one that is incredibly rare. But let's start off with a really interesting piece of Color 8 marbled shell Cordovan, and I brought two Color 8 marbleds to show you today because they're sort of random in the amount of different color range we can get. So the top one here is a little bit darker. There's a little less of those sort of tan undertones that you can see towards the bottom of this one. Most times on the marbled shells, we get something that looks like this, where you get that sort of brown burgundy shade that fades into a lighter tan, like you can see on the end of the piece here. Now here's another Color 8 marbled shell. This one's a little bit more stunning because it seems to be a little bit more vibrant and orange underneath. Let me give you a better look at this one. So you can see this one has a little bit more of those marbling streaks that we see sort of going this direction. And I really like that. I actually like when they're a little bit more orangey and a little bit more vibrant like this one. So let's move on to some black marbled shell here. This one is really crazy. You sort of see every bit of range in this particular shell. And from the darkest spot here on the edge, it's a little bit more green and blue in color. You can see that it gets a little bit more tan down here. And as I move around the shell, you're starting to see more range of color pop out. I kind of like this little bit of tan right here. It's very random. And I'm noticing because these shells are so bright and shiny, they're really difficult for me to actually get nice little images of here. And I think for me, the biggest thing on the marbled shell that I like is when you get a really large contrast, like on the end of the piece here. I like how it goes from this really dark black to a dark green to a lighter green, and then it has more of this tan on the end. And that's what I enjoy about the black marbled shells. And I brought out another black marbled shell here just to show you more of what you can expect from the marbled shells. They're all different and they're all unique and they're all random, but they do tend to be more greenish. And they're fading from that dark green to a light tan. And again here, right on the end, I like when you get this really dramatic contrast. So you might have just seen a little sneak peek at this one, but this is something really special. I don't think I've ever seen this before, but this is a marbled magenta piece of shell Cordovan. And you can see on the lighter shades like this magenta, you don't get as much of that contrast as you do on the other darker colors. You do see a little bit of it sort of fading lightly in little bits of sections there. And this one is definitely showing off more of that vibrant, lighter shade of the magenta. It's about as light and vibrant as the shells get. And I do have two of these I wanted to show you. So here's another really neat marbled magenta shell. This one has a little bit more tan right here, but it definitely shows more of those pink sort of magenta shades. These are really neat. I don't think, again, like this is the first time I've seen this color and I really like it. And last up here, I thought I'd save the most intense, crazy piece for last. This is an ultraviolet marbled shell Cordovan. So it's very similar to the magenta, but it's an extra couple coats of stain on here. So it's a little darker and a little more purple and a little less vibrant than the magenta shells. But I really had to show you this one because everybody that sees this shell in person is really struck by that contrast. I think it's just because it's so unique that people just aren't used to seeing anything like this. But I really like it. And let me give you a little inside info as to how the tannery accomplishes this marbled look. So what they do is they apply layers of stain by hand to each of the shells. And if it's Color 8, it'll be a certain blend of dyes for the Color 8. If it's ultraviolet like this one here, it's a different set of dyes. And they'll hand stain all those and go through all of the different finishing processes. I just actually took a video of some of that finishing about a week ago. So if you want to see some shell cordovan finishing, you can take a look there. It's a couple days, it's about a week worth of finishing that they take to finish the leather. And after that, they scrape off those layers of finish by hand. So you start to see more contrast, and you start to see underneath where the finish was once, but now is not there any longer. So after they scrape away that finish, you start to see the undertone of the shells again. And most times that's the natural shell cordovan is the tone you see underneath, which makes a lot of sense because there's no dye on it. And then where there were sections that they did not scrape off, you see more of that true ultraviolet, like right here. I also think what's really cool about the ultraviolet is how the back looks. Check out this one. It's really crazy. Just for the stains alone, I really like the reverse ultraviolet. I just think that it's super cool, but the marbled is also very impressive. All right, let's move on to some of the stuff that's shipping out today. And I thought it would be appropriate to show a marbled shell wallet after showing you all those different marbled shells. This one is a black marbled shell, and you can really see those orange sections and the green sections. It kind of reminds me of army fatigues, which is pretty cool. And this one is paired really nicely with a black reverse interior. By the way, I have so many wallets today to show you. I tried to get a good amount of some of the stuff we're sending out today. So I have about 20 wallets here. Didn't actually count them, but I'm going to try to move kind of quickly through today's video. Up next here, check out this incredible whiskey shell cordovan, Tony the Ant. The whiskey's a little darker and a little bit more golden in color when compared to the natural. This is just an incredible Tony. Now check out this Fat Herbie. This is a really sleek black shell cordovan Fat Herbie. And if you've been following these daily videos, I've been a huge fan of the black shells recently, just because of how sleek they are. It sort of really shows off the nice curves in the wallet here. And this one is also black shell on the inside. All right, just a moment ago, we saw that ultraviolet marbled shell, and this is the ultraviolet shell cordovan without the marbling, which is a really nice violety purple shade. And what I would really like about this one is sort of what I was hinting at in the video just a moment ago with the reverse on the inside. So this is reverse ultraviolet, and I just really love those purple pink stains. Up next here, this is a Fat Herbie and natural chrome excel. I'm a really big fan of the natural chrome excel, and you can see right on the spine there that classic pull-up effect that we expect on the chrome excel. And this is just a really clean looking Fat Herbie here. This is a Johnny the Fox in Black Dublin. I'm a big fan of the Dublin, but also the Black Dublin in particular, because I think this is one of the best black leathers around. It just has a really great natural grain character. On the inside, we pair the Black Dublin with a custom black horsehide made just for us by Horween. So here's a stunner. This is color number 4, Fat Herbie. And I just love this shade. Maybe I'll change my favorite back to color 4 again, because all the color 4 shells that have recently come to us from Horween are just so incredible. I love that color. And on the inside, you have this really nice looking reverse interior that shows off the Horween ink stamp. Here's a Johnny the Fox, another wallet in natural chrome excel. A big fan of the natural chrome excel. You can see that pull-up effect right on the spine there. And the inside as well, we are pairing that with that custom horsehide again. This leather was made just for us in collaboration with Horween because we needed something very thin and very strong and rigid and that would age nicely. And they made us this special horsehide interior. It's actually a variant on the Latigo leather. And I might have to eat my words here because amaretto is just so stunning. And I think this is still my favorite shell color. For many years, for about 10 years, the color number 4 was my favorite shell cordovan color. But this amaretto is just so vibrant and nice. It ranges from a brown to a very nice orange shade without looking very pumpkiny. It's just sort of a nice light tan color. Let me compare that with the color 4 really quickly, because these are my 2 favorite shell colors. You can see how much darker the color 4 is, but I just love the shades in each of these. It's just very nice colors. All right, so check out this all reverse color 8 Fat Herbie. This one has been picked out special by a customer. So in fact, if you're looking for any wallet and you want to pick out something in particular, especially on the reverse ones where you know that the pattern can be random, please just send us an email, because we're happy to send you photos of what we currently have available and just let you pick right out of our current stock. So here's our first Bugs Moran of the day. This is a Bugs Moran in Intense Blue Shell Cordovan. It's a really nice color. And for me, the intense blue that we do is subtle enough to where at certain angles, it looks like a navy blue. And then other angles, the vibrance of that intense blue come out. And here's another really nice looking Amaretto Shell Cordovan, Johnny the Fox. This one is paired differently with a mock horsehide interior. It's that same custom leather that we get from Horween, just a different color. And the word mock is not a word. So it's been challenging for me to describe this because we call it mock horsehide latigo on the inside. But all that really is just a color designation. And I believe it's a shortened word or shortened version of moccasin. It's just a nice light tan shade. Last and finally up today, we've got a Chicago comb and that really neat black metal. It's a hard as diamonds finish, I believe they call it. And we pair these with the black reverse shell cordovan comb sheath. And you'll notice that the black reverse sheath here is green, and that's because the reverse side of the black shells are green. The comb fits right into the sheath, sort of just like this. Okay, last and finally up today, I wanted to give you an update on my Fat Herbie in Natural Lancaster. I've been wearing this one for 20 days now. And I've been keeping a nice little tally here to help me remember. But what I really like about this one is how much it is changing. And it's slowly developing into a darker color. But also I'm still seeing little bits of stain pick up onto the wallet from my denim right here on the spine. And also I put a little bit of water right on the edge here just to see what it would do. And it did slightly darken and change the color a little bit. I'm not sure. I haven't really polished it or anything. I just put like a smear of water on the edge there just to see what it would do. But this wallet is wearing in very nicely. The contents are starting to become molded around the cards because this is a vegetable tan leather. And again, I'm seeing a lot of this blue dye come off onto the edges. So you can see right there in the corner, right in the spine, sort of where the card edges are as well. So I've been into this. I'm curious to see what you guys think of the Natural Lancaster. If you have any other questions or comments or things that you want to see from everything that I do, I'm happy to do that. In fact, today's video was a question that somebody had about marbled shell cordovan. They just want to know a little bit more about that. So if you have any questions, I'll make a video just like this, just for you. But until then, I'll talk to you later. Bye.